So let's get started with the watches. Watch number 1, FP Journe. Now, this watch is interesting, and this entire line is interesting, and why? So when I was trying to do my homework today, I wanted to understand why FP Journe decided to come out with a sports collection. And it was actually inspired by an important collector who took place in a lot of marathons and triathlons and asked for a high-end manufactured watch that was light. So, of course, they came up with this super lightweight timepiece. This is the Octa Sport, and we've seen in my in some of my videos some of the Octa Sport line, but this is the first time that I'm going to be showing this particular piece. It is a limited edition, and this is one of those cool limited editions where it was actually a double limited edition, right? You had 99 pieces that were made initially for the Indy 500 back in 2012 for Tokyo, and 70 of them looked exactly like this. There's the inverse 07. And the other 29 had the Indy logo, which you see on my top left, right? I actually prefer this screen. This is a very cool watch, 42 millimeters, 11 millimeters thick. It's an aluminum case with PVD. The movement is also made of aluminum. It's about 60 grams. Just like the other Octa Sport watches, you've got the rubber bumpers over here. This one is even more particularly light because it comes on a rubber strap. This is a pre-owned watch. Slides right over my wrist because you have to actually cut the strap to set it. So now that I'm wearing it over my wrist, I'll talk a little bit about it. So the dial itself has Arabic Roman numerals. You've got the luminescent on the hands. You've got that FP Journe numeral with the luminescent. The movement is the 1,300.3 FP Journe in-house movement. It is a chronometer based on the FP Journe standards. You have a 5-day power reserve, which is also super. I'm going to talk a little bit about the movement, and unlike most of FP Journe's movements, which are either made of gold, this one is made of aluminum. Nice. For all you fans who love to see the inner workings of our timepieces, there it is. Yep. Somebody said the straps, Barry, the strap's looking really long because you have to cut it. And Richard asked, hey, Richard, how are you, buddy? He said, how much? So this watch sells on our website for $22,000. The rotor is made of tungsten. It's a unidirectional. It's obviously automatic. You've got the circular Côte de Genève on the bridges. You've got circular graining on the base plate, chamfered, and circular grain on the wheels as well. So now that we've taken a look at the back, you've got the deployment buckle as well. So you'd have to cut this strap to size it to your wrist. Let's talk a little bit about the complication. What do we have? You've got the time only. You've got the seconds at 6. Right above FP Journe, you see that white turning into red. That is actually the AM/PM indication. And then you have the power reserve between 10 and 11 o'clock. And of course, right underneath the 1, you've got the number 7, which is the date. This is a very cool piece, 42 millimeters, super thin. I like it a lot. I like it so much that I picked it twice. So let's talk about the titanium version on a bracelet. And any of you Watchbox fans out there who saw Tim's video a couple weeks ago with Brian where he tossed that watch, I mean, this watch is, it feels like it floats on air, so if I threw it up in the air, it would maybe float and come right around back. This is the exact same model. Well, not the exact same model, but this is a very similar model. It just happens to be in a titanium case. The movement, though, is made of aluminum. And one of the things that I've talked about before, but I didn't talk about today, is it's very difficult to manufacture to machine cut aluminum, which is why they stopped using aluminum. But in this movement, even though it's a titanium case, you have the aluminum movement. Same complication. You've got the hours, the minutes, the seconds, the power reserve retrograde, the day-night indication, the date, which is really nice. And since I didn't show you how it worked on the other one, you have 3 positions on the crown. So right now I'm kind of moving the hours around. I want to get to the date. Oh, sorry. Every time I try to do this live, I can't. But in any case, you have 3 positions on the crown. The more you wind it, you would see right over there the power reserve would go up. 5-day power reserve or 120 hours. That's pretty cool, right? You set your watch. You don't always have to reset the time. I find myself doing that all the time, especially after taking my watch off or changing my watch for the weekends. You find that when you look at your time, when you look at your watch for the first time, it's all of a sudden you're like, you have to reset it. So this is the titanium version. It's super light. I mean, I can now understand why this triathlete wanted a watch super light, because I feel like I could totally run a marathon, go swimming, triathlon, whatever it is you need to do. This is featherlight watch. Love it. The retail on this piece, new, is $32,700. But it did come out in 2012, so you're going to be hard-pressed to find a new one. As is, in my hands and in the Watchbox website or the Govberg Watches website, you'll find it for $26,000.